Could unconscious bias be hurting employees balancing care and life? Bias doesn't always look like exclusion. Sometimes it's disguised as protection. You might think, we don't discriminate, we're supportive. But here's the thing, bias doesn't always look like hostility. Sometimes it looks like help. A manager says, I didn't offer her the project because she's managing a chronic condition. I skipped him for that travel assignment. His mom's health is declining. I didn't loop them into the client call. They've been dealing with physical therapy. That's not cruelty, but it can be unconscious bias disguised as protection. And it can quietly sideline someone who's capable, committed, who could be thriving. Today we're unpacking how bias can show up around caregiving, chronic illness, and disability, and how to build workplaces where support doesn't become suppression. If we haven't met, I'm Dr. Anna Thomas. I'm a physician, leadership speaker, caregiver advocate, and corporate wellness specialist. I help organizations strengthen their workforce and create workplaces where people and performance can thrive together. Even as we enter an era of AI, automation, and agentic teams, the future of work is still human, and that work is changing dramatically. But at the same time, employees are navigating complex personal and professional pressures that are only going to escalate in the coming years. For example, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, we will see an exponential increase in the number of older adults who will need caregiving support. Who will be providing that care? Working adults. Right now, 63 million Americans are caregivers. That's 1 in 4 adults, with more than half of them currently working full-time. Those numbers are expected to increase and will have a tremendous impact on our communities and, yes, even our workplaces. And caregiving is just one example of a personal stressor that will impact the workplace. Mental health, chronic illness, stress, and burnout are all on the rise, and the organizations that will thrive are those that lead with care, culture, awareness, resources, and empowerment. Care. Through this series, I share practical strategies, leadership tools, and insights to help you create cultures that support well-being, strengthen engagement, and retain top talent. If you'd like a clear starting point, then check out my free training, The Future of Work is Care. The link is below. And while you're there, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with another leader who is ready to build a workplace that cares. Let's get into today's topic. Let's talk about how bias creeps in. Most leaders don't intend to exclude anyone, but bias can thrive in assumptions, not attitudes. You might see it in performance reviews. Someone managing diabetes, migraines, or caregiving, they might be judged by their perceived availability instead of measurable outcomes. Promotions. She's not in a growth season right now. Assignments. Let's not add stress to his plate. Visibility. They're on reduced hours, so let's keep them off of the high-stakes project. Language. Maybe jokes about needing strong willpower for this role. None of those comments sound overtly discriminatory, but they do send a clear message. We see your life and your life responsibilities as a limitation. And over time, talented people who might be balancing all these other responsibilities, they're going to stop volunteering, speaking up, or aiming higher. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They don't leave because they can't perform. They leave because they feel unseen. Let's talk about the overlap between care, illness, and disability. And it's easy to think of these as 3 separate categories, but sometimes they overlap. A team member with an illness like multiple sclerosis, they may also be a caregiver at home. A parent of a child living with autism may also be living with their own chronic health challenges. An employee caring for a spouse may have their own chronic illness themselves, and all face similar bias patterns: an assumed fragility, reduced opportunities, quiet isolation that's masked as kindness. When we design policies or performance systems that address one group without the others, sometimes we miss that intersection as well, and the people who live there. Inclusive leadership requires one unifying question. How can we remove the assumptions that limit performance while still offering support when needed? Here's where to start. Think about your decision patterns. Who is getting those stretch assignments? Who is getting the visibility or being offered opportunities for professional development? Are life or health assumptions shaping those decisions? Ask yourself, Am I making decisions based on those characteristics? Ask before you make the assumption. I'd like to offer you this opportunity, and if we need to adjust how you participate, let's discuss it. That sentence transforms the dynamic. It goes from you being the protector to you being the partner in the situation. Look at the outcomes, not the optics, but the outcomes. Judge based on their contribution and their results, not their physical presence or their traditional availability, because we know that that has changed tremendously. Make sure you train your managers, your leaders to recognize bias and helpful behavior. Many believe that they're doing the right thing by easing workload or shielding people from stress. And I'm not saying that that is necessarily a bad thing, but it's the way in which we do it. Are we depriving people from opportunities that they could actually do if they were offered it? Make sure that the language that you use is consistent. Instead of, she can't handle that right now, shift it to, let's talk about how this opportunity might work for you, right? Offer it. And promote visible success stories. Share examples of other employees who led while navigating care or chronic conditions or disability. Visibility normalizes capacity. It doesn't question it and allows everyone in your company to grow. So what's the case for getting this right? When bias goes unchecked, you don't just lose equity, you lose out on excellence. These employees are sometimes some of your most resourceful people. They've had to master adaptability, time management, emotional intelligence in ways that can translate directly into leadership capacity. When they're included, your team can grow stronger, but when they're sidelined, your organization quietly bleeds talent and innovation and loyalty. Support doesn't mean stepping back for someone, though. It means stepping up with them, equipping them with the structure, the flexibility, and the tools that they need so they can perform at their best. So true inclusion happens when you replace pity with partnership and assumptions with agency. If you're looking to integrate this sort of leadership into your workplace, then join me for my free training, The Future of Work is Care. We'll explore the CARE framework and how you can use it in your organization. And if you want a deeper roadmap, then my book, Workplaces That Care, it's available now on Amazon. It will show you how to design cultures where human realities and business success can coexist. Before you go, think about this. What does it do to a person's confidence when other people make career decisions about them, not with them? That's the quiet harm of bias that is pretending to help. So I encourage you to rewrite that story. So inclusion isn't just what we say, it's also how we lead. In the next video, we're going to talk about how much of our leadership pipeline might be impacted by life and care responsibilities. We'll explore some of the data and strategies. As you're waiting, watch this one next. Are we checking a box on benefits or truly supporting our people? Remember, in this age of AI, the future of work is still human. So let's create workplaces that care together.